everyone! Today we will be talking about sleep debt and its effect on relationships and specifically women. However, before we talk about all of that, let's start off with a question. How much sleep do we need? So, children and adults generally need at least 8 hours of sleep daily. However, it is important to remember to know that each individual has a different amount of sleep requirement, so it is up to you to listen to your body and find out how much sleep you need. In the 1960s, there was a survey of over 1 million people that showed that people generally got about 8 to 9 hours of sleep. However, in 2002, the National Sleep Foundation found that Americans generally got only about 6 to 7 hours of sleep. So what happens when you don't get the required amount of sleep? It slowly accumulates to something that is called sleep debt, which can have many detrimental consequences. We'll get to more about those later, but trust me, you don't want sleep debt. Unless you love being miserable, tired, and hungry all the time, which of course you don't want, right? Right. Let's talk more about sleep debt. You might be wondering, why do people acquire sleep debt in the first place? Well, one cause may be a result of the invention of artificial light in this busy society. See, this artificial light affects your SCN, a site in the brain that maintains your biological clock. As a result, your natural circadian rhythm is disturbed, which inhibits you from sleeping. Now, you probably know from experience that a lack of sleep makes you feel tired, slow, and maybe a little grumpy. But there are actually far more serious and dangerous consequences of sleep debt, some of which includes drowsiness, impairment of memory, decreased ability for creativity, heart attacks, high blood pressure, strokes, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and an imbalance of hormones. This imbalance of hormones can affect your mood, stress level, energy level, and relationships with people. You may be thinking at this point, wow, this is so interesting and awesome, but I don't have sleep debt. I only get tired during the day after a big meal or boring lectures. To this, I have to tell you, no dude, you're wrong. In Dr. Dement's The Stanford Sleep Book, it says, heavy meals, alcohol, warm rooms, and boring lectures only unmask a strong physiological sleep tendency. That means that you were secretly tired all along, but it took those activities to make you realize it. Wait, erase that. Alright, so now that we have understood the harmful effects of sleep debt, we raise another question. What does that have to do with relationships? Well, Wendy M. Troxell, PhD from the University of Pittsburgh, helps us to answer that question. She and other investigators conducted a study that investigated the correlations between sleep and daily marital interactions among 35 married couples. The study lasted for 10 days, where each partner recorded his, personal, and partner's positive and negative marital interactions for 10 days on an electronic diary. The results were interesting. It turned out that a lack of sleep negatively affected the couple's interactions the next day, not the other way around. Particularly for women, the amount of sleep they had directly influenced their emotional level of interaction the next day. So what does this all mean? Well, the study suggested that while the men were either unaware or unspoken about mood changes due to a lack of sleep, women were more outspoken and/or affected by sleep deprivation. You may be thinking at this point, okay, wait a minute, how come the study focuses on women instead of men? Great question. It turns out that the study is not being biased here, it's actually just showing the significance of women's role in relationship problems as a result of sleep debt. See, when women do not get a sufficient amount of sleep, their melatonin levels decrease. As a result, their estrogen levels heavily increase, the hormone that maintains our sleep and helps to control our emotions. As a result, symptoms of high estrogen levels include weight gain, decreased sex drive, oversensitivity, cramps, irregular periods, mood swings, migraines, depression, and even breast cancer. You can even grow facial hair. Now, does that sound cute, appealing, or healthy in a relationship? Imagine your girlfriend with a mustache. Cute, right? Maybe not. As the study we discussed earlier demonstrates, sleep debt affects our relationships because it changes us and our interactions with our partners. Because sleep debt especially affects women, it is women who become the pilot in a rocky relationship. So let's summarize what we've learned today. Because of sleep debt, you not only put your mind and body at risk, but also your relationship with other people. Specifically to women, sleep debt leads to higher estrogen levels, which may put a big strain on a relationship. Okay, so how can we reduce our sleep debt? For starters, you should extend the current amount of sleep that you currently have and pay close attention to how your body feels the next day for about 2 weeks. Notice what times you start feeling tired and more alert. And don't worry, although it is a widely held belief, it is actually highly unlikely to get too much sleep. Well, that is pretty much it. With the combinations of healthy sleeping, healthy eating, and exercise, you will begin to have more energy, motivation, stronger performance, more positive emotions, and a healthier and stronger relationship. Good luck.
Over Elgin.